In this Dragonfly Creative class, we'll create a custom project bag. This project pulls together some of my favorite techniques. We'll be learning how to use a jelly plate for printing on fabric. We'll be doing a little bit of hand stitching and some free motion embroidery used as an embellishment. This kit includes a 5x6 bag by Yazzie.com, fabric paint, clear extender, a jelly plate, a brayer, and fabric to print on, plus a little to practice with, and then a design for the rose motif. So if you're ready to learn and get creative, I look forward to seeing you in class soon. Hi, this is Nick Coman with Dragonfly Creative, and today we're going to do a mixed media project bag. And what we're going to start with is what you're going to need to do this. We're going to have a kit available on the website. The kit will include a bag. So the bag that we're going to be supplying is a Yazzie bag. This is a small bag. This is a 5x6 inch bag, but that 5x6 inch bag has a whole lot of storage space. So it has 5 clear plastic compartments with zippers that you can use. All of these are absolutely wonderful because they're stitched in, they're in really sturdy bag, and then at the very back there's a fabric, another little compartment. It's not a plastic covered one, but it's a fabric one. They all have really nice working zippers, and then we're going to be carrying this bag and a number of others on our website by Yazzie. They all come in 7 different colors and they're absolutely amazing. If you haven't had a Yazzie bag, you haven't lived. So with the kit, you're going to get the project bag, paint, a roller. This is a jelly plate, monoprint plate. You're also going to need a selection of thread. And that does not come with the kit. I'm assuming you all have thread. But just, you'll choose whatever colors you want. You'll get to see what I do with it, and then you can decide for yourself what you want. And then I've got a whole stack of 6-inch squares of fabric. And the fabric that I've chosen is an Essex. It's a linen cotton blend. And I've chosen a slightly off, it's more like an oyster color, and it's really gorgeous. And then you also are going to get the design. This design, this is my actual sketch. You will get a cleaned up version of this. And the jelly plate is on top of it, so it looks a little weird. But this is the design that we're going to be doing. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take paint and I'm going to take the caps off, so we sort of are getting ready here. You don't need a whole lot of paint for this, so I'm actually going to use the caps for my paint supply. And I've got all sorts of different colors here to play with. And I've got all these different colors because I want to try a bunch of different colorways. So that's why I've got all these pieces of fabric cut. And then I've got all the paint. The last thing I have here, and this is absolutely wonderful, is a transparent extender. So what this is going to do is take these paints, which are already transparent, and it's going to lighten them up even more. So you can actually are really going to be able to see your design right through the jelly plate. So when you print, you're going to know exactly where you're going. Okay, so there's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some, I'm going to start with a background. So I think I want to do some blue and maybe some green. Now this is the time when you actually get to just play, okay? So I want to see all your tongues out, so like, you know, the 3rd graders coloring. So we're going to go ahead and now I'm going to put this on the plate. Okay, so I'm going to scrape some up, put it on the plate, and I'm going to roll it out. Okay. Okay, good. And then I have my handy dandy rags down here for wiping up. I also have paper towel. Now I'm going to take the roller and I'm going to roll my the paint around the jelly plate. Okay. Now I've got a very thin layer of my green on there, and before that dries, I'm going to wipe out the rose here. My blue is okay, but I want to wipe out the rose. And then I'm going to print on here. I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to put it down over the top. And I'm just rubbing the back of my fabric. And what that's going to do is transfer that green onto the fabric. Okay, so I just rub that, and then I've got the green transferred onto the fabric. So I'm going to do a few more of those in some different colors. Okay, try some black. Maybe some red. And the black and red should give us a really pretty maroon. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead. There we go. Once we get the jelly plate sort of primed, the colors roll out easier. And that's nice. And it is. It's a really, you can't see it probably, but this is a really beautiful kind of maroon color. And then I'm actually gonna put a piece of paper towel over here, and then I also like to keep a blank piece of fabric here. And I roll this off, and I'll use this later for another piece. I'll figure out something to do with it. Okay, now, once again, you probably can't see it, but I got my rose in there. And I'm going to just wipe the color out of the rose. Okay, mostly. And now I'm going to take a piece of fabric, preferably one, and put it down again. Now we're just going to rub this. Okay, now that comes up, and that's gorgeous. And now I'm going to go ahead, there's still a little paint on here, so I'm going to go ahead, take my other fabric, and I'm gonna try to get the rest of that paint off. And if it doesn't come off, that's okay. I'm just gonna rub, or I'm gonna use the next color on top of that. Now I want to do a lighter blue. So I'm going to take my blue and I'm actually going to add white to this one. Okay, pop that over here. Now, and you'll see that as I roll, it mixes the colors. And if you want a really consistently mixed color, you just keep rolling until such time as you get what you want. Okay, and then I'm going to clean that off. Okay. And then I think I'm actually going to roll it again, take some of that color up. I don't want it quite that heavy. Lose some of my paint again. That's better. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and just print the entire piece. So I'm just rubbing this one. I didn't rub the rose out of this one. I think I'm going to try and print the rose over the blue on this one. Okay. And so I have that. I really like the texture on that. That's a lot of fun. So now let's just go right in real quick and just use red on top of here. Don't need tons of it. Okay. And then see what that red does. See if it mixes with any of the blue that's left. There's a very little bit of blue that's left on here. And it might, because these are transparent colors, this might show through and give us a really, really beautiful sort of lavender color. And I'm gonna, once again, roll off my sprayer. And now I'm going to rub this. I'm doing the whole, once again, I'm going to do several of them that are the whole thing. Oh, that's nice. Pretty textures. Okay. And now I'm going to try some, let's just do a straight green background. Right over the red. Now, this is a craftsman, if you will, style rose. Actually, it's technically a Macintosh rose. It's popularized by Rennie Macintosh in the he was part of the arts and crafts movement and even on into the Bauhaus, and really wonderful. And I just love that whole arts and crafts kind of thing. So what I did is I put the green on there, but I also put some transparent base on there. So it's sort of blending it, and then I put that green right over the red. And the reason I did that is because in a lot of that particular era, the colors, while you may have had greens and reds, they weren't real clear. They were sort of a muted, off version of whatever color they were. And they were just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I'm trying to sort of imitate that particular look. Now, if you wanted to do something else, if you want to do bright primary colors and make this really a lovely bright kind of piece, then knock yourself out. Go for it. This is yours, and you have all these wonderful bright colors to work with. You mix white to get pastels, you mix black to get those wonderful, more sort of wintry fall colors. If you want to go more towards brown, you're going to mix complementary colors together, like the red and green, or the blue and, actually it would be blue and orange, so that would be a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red. Now I'm going to pull this up. Yes, that's sort of what I thought it would be. It's a little bit of red, a little bit of green, So it's sort of dirty looking, nice. And now I'm going to actually wash off my jelly plate. Okay. I still have fabric I could play with, but I think this is a good start.